highly anticipated Star Wars Battlefront is now shipping. For those not in the know, Star Wars Battlefront is a Battlefield 1942 style team-based shooter set in the Star Wars universe. The game offers large maps, dozens of players, and plenty of drivable vehicles. The game offers two different single-player modes. One is the historical campaign, which includes two linear campaigns that follow the story arcs from the Star Wars films. The other is Galactic Conquest, which is a more open-ended campaign that allows you to choose the order in which you attack enemy-controlled planets. Each planet you control offers a different special bonus. These range from Sabotage, which causes your opponent's vehicles to spawn in with heavy damage, to Jedi Hero, which allows you to fight alongside a nearly invincible NPC-controlled Jedi, such as Darth Vader or Mace Windu. Despite the special bonuses in the Galactic Conquest mode, it doesn't play out much differently from the regular campaign. Battlefront includes 4 playable factions based on the 2 different time periods from the movies. These include the Rebels and the Empire from the late 70s and early 80s films, as well as the Republic Clone Warriors and the Separatist Droid Army from the newer films. Each of the 4 factions has 5 distinct classes. You've got regular soldiers, heavy weapons troops, and snipers. There's also a pilot who's kind of like a cross between a medic and an engineer. The pilot's best ability is being able to automatically repair vehicles while driving them. Each army has a 5th specialized class that helps distinguish the 4 factions. The Rebels can field tough Wookiee smugglers armed with bowcasters. Both the Empire and the Republic field soldiers equipped with jetpacks that allow them to get to high places or just travel a lot faster. The best one is arguably the Droid Army's Droideka. Those who have seen Episode 1 will remember the Droideka as the rolling destroyer robot that wields rapid-fire blasters and a personal shield. Battlefront includes 16 different maps spread out over 10 different planets, ranging from the Forest of Endor to the rain-swept oceans of Kamino. As in Battlefield 1942, players must capture specific spots on the map called command points. Your team responds at command points, as do vehicles, so it's important to protect the ones that you control and capture ones away from your enemy. Some maps are more vehicle-oriented, and some are more infantry-oriented, but the best part of Battlefront is the vehicles. It's quite exhilarating to fly about in a TIE fighter or an X-Wing and provide ground support, or stomp around in an AT-ST or other tank-like vehicles and blast hapless infantry. Geonosis is probably the best vehicle map, as it includes droid spider walkers and hailfire tanks against the 6-legged AT-TE of the Republic Army, as well as heavily armed air transport ships. If there's any complaint to be leveled against the vehicles in Battlefront, it's that they're rather overpowered relative to the infantry, especially if they're being driven by a skilled player using the pilot class. Spawn camping with a large vehicle is a cheap and easy way to rack up kills and lead your team to an easy capture. Battlefront offers a pretty simple but flexible interface. You can switch between first and third person, and most primary weapons also offer one level of zoom. But aiming is relatively easy anyway, especially on the console versions, where auto-aim is on by default. Battlefield's brand of auto-aiming is especially sticky, which unfortunately takes a lot of the skill out of head-to-head standoffs in the console version's multiplayer modes. The platforms begin to distinguish themselves from one another on the graphics front. The PS2 version is clearly the weakest of the 3, offering blurrier textures and no shadowing. In comparison, the Xbox and PC offer more vibrant colors and sharper textures, as well as additional detail on all the soldier and vehicle models. Overall, the graphics on all 3 platforms are respectable relative to other shooters. There are also a lot of differences between the different platforms as far as online support goes. The PC version offers support for up to 32 players online, while Xbox Live and PS2 Online support up to 16 human players, with bots used to fill out the maps. However, the PS2 version only supports 16 human players when you use special software that you have to run on a PC. If you want to run a server on your PS2, you're limited to just 4 human players plus 12 additional bots. Because of those issues, PS2 is clearly the weakest for online play, but it's pretty good on both the Xbox and PC versions, and we'll have to give the nod to the PC here for supporting more players. Overall, Star Wars Battlefront delivers a satisfying team-based shooter experience that hardcore Star Wars fans will enjoy greatly. For most PC shooter fans, though, the game may come off as old hat. Aside from the Star Wars universe, Battlefront doesn't really deliver anything PC players haven't seen before, although it's a solid game in its own right. The game might be more fresh and appealing to console players who don't have as many choices in online team-based shooters.